The UEFA Champions League always delivers. There's a reason why it's the greatest competition in sports, in my opinion. There's a reason why every time we hear that anthem as fans, we get goosebumps. Because there's nothing like UEFA Champions League nights. And this league phase thing, man, it's really growing on me. We're going to see European giants go head-to-head in September. In September. Usually we have to wait until March, April, May to see these matchups. But now we're getting it in September thanks to this league phase. And today, in the second day of the first match week of the UCL, we had European giants going at it. Ajax against Inter Milan. Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid. PSG versus Atalanta, not so much, but still, the reigning champions against Atalanta, really, really good team. Chelsea versus Bayern Munich, a rematch of the 2012 UCL final. It was honestly amazing. In today's video, we're going to cover two games because I asked you guys yesterday in my community tab which game I should watch today and which game I should cover. And the two options were Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, and Bayern Munich and Chelsea. And you guys said I should watch the Bayern Munich-Chelsea game, but guess what, guys? Unemployment is a beautiful thing. I'm not actually unemployed, but today I was unemployed. I said, you know what, fuck my work. I'm going to sit here and watch both of these games. And I am so happy that I did that. I am so happy that I did that because both games were amazing. Honestly, bro, it was great. So we're going to talk about both games today. I was watching the Bayern Munich-Chelsea game, and then I saw that I was going to watch just the Bayern Munich-Chelsea game and then watch the highlights of the Liverpool-Atletico Madrid game. But I was like, bro, I can't miss an Atletico-Liverpool game. I just can't miss it. And then I saw Isak getting the start, so I was like, oh, now I for sure have to watch it. So I watched both of them simultaneously. We're going to talk about them today. First, we're going to talk about the Liverpool-Atletico Madrid game because these matchups between these two teams, it seems like they always deliver. Atletico Madrid and Liverpool, it's not really a European Clásico like Man City, Real Madrid, or Real Madrid, Liverpool, or Barcelona, PSG. But it's still like, it's just, these games are amazing, bro. Marcos Llorente, we'll talk about it. But anyway, we're going to talk about that game first. At Anfield, Liverpool get the win 3-2 against Atletico Madrid thanks to a last-minute equalizer from who else but Virgil van Dijk, who has just been so good this season. This guy's amazing, bro. He doesn't age. He doesn't deteriorate. He just continues this level that he's been on for the past, 9 seasons, which is, to me, the best center back that I've ever seen with my own two eyes. That might be hyperbolic to some of you guys. Virgil van Dijk is the best center back that I've ever seen with my own two eyes. He's fucking amazing, bro. And this Liverpool team, I don't know if Liverpool fans should be concerned or they should be happy. It's concerning and also really, really encouraging at the same time. The fact that 4 times this season, Liverpool have found themselves up 2-0 in a game, and 3 times they've come back. The only time they didn't come back was against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield. They lost that game on penalties, of course. But every other time against Bournemouth in the first game, they were up 2-0, they gave up the lead, and then they won it. Against Newcastle, up 2-0, give up the lead, and then you win it. And then today, you're up 2-0 in the first game of the UCL in the league phase. And then you surrender the lead and then you win it. Again, I don't know if Liverpool fans should be concerned or happy, but look, if you're a Liverpool fan, it's hard not to feel happy right now because you saw Isak get in the game. And to me, Alexander Isak didn't have his best game. Obviously, he didn't score, but I thought he was really effective. And for a guy who didn't have a single preseason, it's the first football game he's playing in months. Obviously, he played for Sweden, but I'm saying like the first club football match he's playing in months. I thought today, he had a couple chances. His ability to get off a shot with no space is honestly so incredible. Alexander Isak, man. And also, Cody Gakpo had a few times where he could have passed him the ball, and he didn't do it. And I think Isak could have maybe had a goal if Gakpo was a little bit less selfish and more aware there. But the game starts off with, obviously, Mohamed Salah, a free kick right around the edge of the box. He shoots, and Andy Robertson is right there. He sticks out his foot and it goes into the back of the net past Oblak. At first, I thought it was an own goal, but they gave the goal to Robertson. And at that point, it was 1-0. And I thought, when they were up 1-0, I thought, okay, Liverpool are going to win this game. Because Atletico Madrid, they haven't had the best start to the season. And I think at Anfield, against that team, it's going to be hard to kind of rally and come back. And then Liverpool got a second goal, which made it even worse. And it was a goal from Mohamed Salah, a beautiful goal. A connection with Ryan Gravenberch at the edge of the box. Mo gets into the box and then shoots it at the far post. A beautiful goal. And at that point, Liverpool were up 2-0. And I was like, oh, they're going to cruise to a victory today. They're going to maybe score 4 goals, 5 goals past Atletico Madrid. Because like I said, Atletico Madrid have not been great today. But then Marcos Llorente, bro, what the fuck is up with this guy every time he plays Liverpool at Anfield? He plays like, I don't know, he plays like Prime Messi or Prime Ronaldo every time he plays Liverpool at Anfield. That's the second time he scored a brace against that team. I'll never forget, most of us will never forget that game right before COVID, the last game before the lockdown, where Atletico Madrid went into Anfield and knocked off Liverpool, who at the time were the defending UCL champions. And Marcos Llorente scored a brace in that game, and obviously Morata scored the winner. And then today he scores that goal, and it was just a beautiful goal. What a goal that he scored. I mean, the finish for that goal is just insane. And then the second goal, a volley past Alisson, it was insane. Marcos Llorente, bro, take a fucking bow. But unfortunately for Marcos Llorente, unfortunately for the Atletico Madrid fan base and for Cholo Simeone, that wasn't enough to walk away with a draw in the 1 point. Because in the 93rd minute, a cross gets sent into the box, and Virgil van Dijk is right there to tuck it away with his head. And he does this little celebration, which is actually a really cool celebration. And I cannot believe it, bro. Like, honestly. And the fact also, by the way, Liverpool also needed a last-minute winner to beat Burnley on the weekend. So they just keep getting by with these last-minute winners. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. I don't know if Liverpool fans should be concerned or happy. If I was a Liverpool fan right now, I'd just be fucking happy. We've won every game we've played this season apart from one, and this Community Shield, which no one really cares about. No one really cares about the Community Shield. I'm sorry, Crystal Palace fans. You guys won that. Nobody really cares about the Community Shield. But for Virgil van Dijk to just leap like a salmon. I mean, the way that he's shimmying Little Ron, it's like, bro, it's like a receiver trying to get off the line in the NFL. He's just like twisting and turning, and then he somehow finds space and gets that header off and puts it past Oblak. It was just insane. And I actually thought, look, I thought the better team won today. I thought when it came to Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, the better team won. I thought Atleti played well. They definitely showed some character today. And they showed that, they're not going to be bad this season. They're not going to be a bad team. Like, their slow start to La Liga, it doesn't dictate who this team is going to be. Because I thought today they showed a lot of fight. I thought Galan played really well. Actually, did well against Mohamed Salah. I thought Griezmann was like the glue of the team. I thought Griezmann played fairly well. And by the way, they're doing this with a lot of injuries and without their best player, in my opinion, Julian Alvarez. So the fact that they went into Anfield today without Julian, their best player, their striker, their number 9, their goal machine, and they were able to score 2 goals and make it 2-2 against Liverpool, who are a juggernaut. That's pretty impressive, man. It's actually really, really impressive. And I thought, Simeone, not the coach, the son. Look, Giuliano, I've been critical of him because I think sometimes he kind of seems like a nepo baby on the field because I don't think he's that quality. But today he was everywhere on the pitch. I got to give him credit for that. But yeah, I think although Atletico Madrid played well, I think Liverpool were the better team and the stats back it up. They had a better XG. They had more shots on target. They could have scored. Mohamed Salah should have scored in that second half off a great pass from Florian Wirtz. I think Liverpool deserved the win today. Again, I feel bad for Atletico Madrid fans because I'm always, look, I like Liverpool as a team. You guys know that. I don't root for Liverpool because I don't root for any team that's not Barcelona, but I don't mind seeing Liverpool win a game. Unless it's against Barca. In that case, it was just the worst loss ever. But anyway, my point is, I want, like, this is a team, like, I honestly have a soft spot for La Liga teams because every La Liga team that's not Real Madrid, of course, because I want La Liga to do well in the UCL because I'm sick and tired of people talking shit on La Liga, but also kind of have a soft spot for Liverpool. But anyway, besides the point. My point is, I thought Atletico Madrid played well, but I think the better team got the win. And then talking about Liverpool and some of their players, I thought Mo was good. Obviously had involvement in the first 2 goals, but I think he kind of faded towards the end of the game. After he hit the post, he kind of wasn't involved in the game as much. I thought Florian had a great game. I thought Florian Wirtz had a really, really good game. Arguably his best game in a Liverpool kit. He should have had at least 2 or 3 assists in this game. He could have easily had 2 or 3 assists because Liverpool were creating chances. He was creating a lot of chances. I don't know what his XA was, his expected assists, but it's probably really high because he fed that chance on a plate to Mo Salah, and Mo just hit the post. I thought Alexander Isak, the British record transfer fee holder, is that how you say it? Anyway, Alexander Isak, the guy who broke the British record transfer fee, didn't score today, got the start, but for a guy who hasn't played, competitive club football in a long time, last time he played club football was back in May with Newcastle. He didn't have a preseason with Liverpool. I thought today he showed a lot of promise, man. He had a couple chances, like I said, which we talked about earlier. I thought he showed a lot of promise. Gakpo, I wasn't really impressed by him. Honestly, I wasn't really impressed with Cody Gakpo. I thought his decision-making was poor at times, and he was just kind of lost on the pitch. So I wasn't really impressed with Gakpo. Szoboszlai really impressed me today, man. He really, really impressed me. Szoboszlai is off the ball. He's a demon. He's genuinely a demon off the ball. This guy doesn't get tired. He's like a road runner, bro. He's just everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. He's in the midfield. Then he's out left. Then he's playing as a fullback. The guy just doesn't get tired, and he's a great asset to the Liverpool team. But yeah, man, I think today Liverpool walk away with the win. I think it was deserved, honestly, because I think they were the better team. It sucks for Atletico Madrid, the fact that you bring it back to 2-2. Llorente scores that goal. You think you maybe could win it, but then it doesn't end up happening. But yeah, man, what a performance from Liverpool. What a game overall. Cholo Simeone, by the way, we got to talk about that. He gets sent off at the end because he's beefing with a fan. The fan flips him off. Cholo kept saying, "Oh, the fan flipped me off." Here's the thing. Here's what I'll say about Cholo Simeone. We know Cholo Simeone is very emotional, right, on the touchline. That's a nice way to put it. He's very emotional. And we remember back that game that I mentioned, the game right before the lockdown. He was, when Morata scored that goal, he was running, he was celebrating. He can be a little bit obnoxious at times. I've watched Cholo Simeone my whole life, okay? Since he's been at Atletico Madrid, I've watched him. He can be kind of a dick, and he can be kind of obnoxious, and I can understand why rival fans are mad at him. So I don't know if he was provoking the fans. I'm not sure. Here's what I know. I think saying certain things as a fan should get you kicked out of the stadium. You cannot call somebody out of their name. You can't be insulting players and cursing at them. I think that's pretty poor behavior by a fan. Just flipping somebody off, I mean, it's a football stadium. If Cholo Simeone is being annoying and you want to flip him off, I understand. I think emotions were high, and Cholo just decided to take out his anger on a random fan who flipped him off. So that was weird to see. Honestly, that was really, really weird to see Cholo get sent off. But we know what Cholo Simeone is at this point in his career. He's a very emotional manager and wears his heart on his sleeve. So he gets sent off. But yeah, that was crazy. Seeing Cholo get sent off at the end was kind of insane. But yeah, man, Liverpool got the win. Isak got the start. Wirtz to me played well. There's probably some players that I'm missing. That Gravenberch I think had a good game as well. Gravenberch is so good, man. His level since Arne Slot got to Liverpool has been so high. So that's my analysis on the Liverpool Atletico Madrid game. Now let's talk about the other game. The game that wasn't as competitive, which is of course Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. A recap of the 2012 UCL final in that same stadium, by the way, where Chelsea actually got the win at the Allianz Arena against Bayern Munich thanks to that penalty from Didier Drogba and the equalizer by Didier Drogba after the Muller goal. Anyway, Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. Chelsea started off the game up 2-0 from a penalty from Harry Kane and an own goal from Chalobah, and then Cole Palmer made it 2-1. And I think in the first half, Chelsea played decent. You know, they weren't good. I thought Bayern Munich were the better team, but Chelsea played decent. In the second half, that was really, really poor from Chelsea. They really showed their age, their immaturity, and their experience in that second half because it was hard to watch. It was genuinely hard to watch. I'm talking about Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto, sorry, not Joao Pedro. Pedro Neto had a disaster class on the left wing. A disaster class. The whole back line, Tosin, Chalobah, Gusto, who was at fault for the third goal, by the way. That third goal from Harry Kane, Gusto's at fault. He loses the ball. The ball is Harry Kane is through on goal, and that finish to the far post past Sanchez. And by the way, before that, Bayern Munich could have had another goal because Olise had a one-on-one, not a one-on-one, but he had a ball fed to him into the box, and then Sanchez made a great save. So, look, Chelsea, I was a big believer in Chelsea this season because I think that what we saw in the Club World Cup showed a lot of promise from that team. But this is the problem when you buy youth and inexperience. Because youth and inexperience can be good because you have potential in a player, but at the same time, you don't know how these players are going to react in a moment like this. And we started the Club World Cup, but I'm here to tell you guys, man. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans. I'm not trying to sound disrespectful. You guys won the Club World Cup, and that's great. My club wasn't even a part of the Club World Cup. Because I wish Barca could have played in that. But anyway, that's besides the point. You guys won the Club World Cup, and that's great. It's a big trophy to win. It's not the UCL. There's something different about these UCL nights. Okay, playing at MetLife Stadium against PSG is not the same as playing against Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena in the UCL. In the group phase, which is, like I said, the biggest competition in European football. And today, I think Chelsea really showed their experience. I think Maresca was awful. I think both Enzos today were actually really, really bad. Maresca and Fernandes, both of them were shit. Fernandes was awful, man. He couldn't make a right pass. Chelsea, in general, couldn't string 2 passes together or 5 passes together. It was hard to watch. Maresca waited way too long to make subs. Joao Pedro should have been off, or I keep saying Joao Pedro. Pedro Neto should have been off way earlier. Enzo Fernandez should have been off earlier. Cole Palmer we thought he got a goal at the end, but it ended up being offside. Harry Kane, man, he continues to prove that he's just an insane player. I think that Chelsea midfield got outrun by the Bayern midfield. I think both Pavlovic and Kimmich played great games. I think the Bayern Munich backline played amazing. For a Bayern Munich team that's missing, arguably, their second best player, not even arguably, their second best player in Jamal Musiala. Maybe, I mean, Olise is up there too. But anyway, they're missing Musiala, who we know is one of the best players in Europe. One of the most talented youngsters in Europe. To be able to do that against Chelsea, which is a team that a lot of us believed in, now, as a Barca fan, I'm a lot more confident in going to Stamford Bridge and playing this Chelsea team because I don't think that they're good enough yet. Now, I picked them to make the UCL final. That could still happen. But I think right now, and especially what we've seen from them in the Premier League so far, they drew against Crystal Palace. Yes, they beat Fulham. Yes, they beat West Ham. Everybody's going to beat West Ham. Everybody's going to beat West Ham. Every single team in the Premier is going to beat West Ham. They're really, really bad. And then on the weekend, they tied against Burnley. It hasn't been the best start, the most promising start to the season by Chelsea. I mean, Liverpool haven't had the best start, quote unquote, but Liverpool are finding ways to win games. Chelsea are not finding ways to win games. They're drawing a lot of games, and today they lost against Bayern Munich. And I think Bayern Munich surprised a lot of us. I gotta eat crow when it comes to Bayern Munich because I've been really disrespectful towards Vincent Kompany and that team, and I apologize for that because they showed a lot of fight today, man. They showed a lot of fight, and that was very impressive. So I think today, in that game between Chelsea and Bayern Munich, inexperience and youth showed for Chelsea, and that's gonna be something that's gonna be a cause for concern maybe throughout the whole season because the only way to gain experience is by doing it. You know, you can't microwave that process. So we're gonna see how Chelsea come back from this. If they come back and they show some fight and some character, then we'll know what the Chelsea team is made out of. But I think Enzo Maresca waited too long to make subs. I think their defense and their backline as a whole played bad. I think Robert Sanchez actually had a good game. He prevented a bunch of goals. Like I said, that Olise chance was on a plate for him, and he saved it. But yeah, man, 2 insane games. Atletico Madrid and Liverpool, crazy game. Szoboszlai, Virgil van Dijk, fucking Isak, Wirtz. I mean, it was crazy to watch. It was crazy to watch. The fact that Arne Slot has this team, has had this team win every single game, despite the fact that, you know, hasn't been pretty, is a testament to the Liverpool team. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's the main course for me, of course. As a Barca fan, I get to watch my team play Newcastle at St. James's Park. Obviously, we'll be here for the match review for that game, so I cannot wait for that. I'm feeling very confident, man. Also, Thuram scored a brace for Inter. Let me actually see how that game ended, because I didn't check. I apologize for that. Let me check how that, because I didn't watch a single second of that game, I'll be honest, guys. Okay, so Inter beat Ajax 2-0 with a brace from Thuram, and then PSG destroyed Atalanta 4-0. So Thuram, man, he's had a good start to the year. Inter as a whole haven't had the best start to the year. They lost against Juve, they lost against Udinese, I'm pretty sure, in Serie A. But Thuram, man, he scored against Juve. He scored in the first game of the season. Today he scores a brace. Thuram is on form right now. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.